Hi, Caroline. Thank you so much for inviting us here. We are currently at the airport. We have beautiful planes behind us.
Lots of them.
Lots of them. It's very interesting to hear from you about private jet, aviation in general. Many people don't have access to this information. Yeah. Therefore, I would like to ask you some questions, but perhaps if you could introduce yourself first, that would be great. And
Sure.
what exactly you're doing with those private jets.
Yeah. So thank you for the opportunity of sharing this with you. It's a pleasure being here. And it's not my facility, so we also have to thank ExecuJet. But no, it's great being here. So my name is Caroline Cresp. I'm the managing director of Luna Jets in Dubai. We are a leading private jet charter brokerage firm. So last year we did around 15,000 flights for private individuals and companies around the world.
Amazing, that's a lot.
Yes, it is a lot, yeah, absolutely. So we've been based here for the last 2 years. We are headquartered in Europe and we have 7 offices now around the world. And yeah, so we're here and having fun with all those beautiful machines. Yeah.
Amazing. So could you please tell me how the process actually of renting a jet looks like? Because, you know, it's not something which people do every day.
Unfortunately,
right?
not.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But if you could tell me the process, guide me.
So it's true that it's everyone knows the private jet charter business through the celebrities and all
That's
that.
right.
But we use private jets for many different reasons. How can they inquire with us?
Mm-hmm.
They can find us online. It's quite easy. But then for us, what we always need to know is where they're going from, where they're going to, how many passengers there is there, and if there's any preferred timings that they want to leave at or be there at the destination. So the main reason why people charter a plane is to save time. Normally you save around 2.5 hours time on the whole travel length because you're just reducing time at the airport. You only have to be here 15 minutes before. At the other end, you will be there 15 minutes. You'll be out of the airplane within 15 minutes. And the aim is really to get you as close as possible to your end destination, but also to depart as close as possible from where you want to leave from. So as much as a lot of the travel is at Dubai-London, for instance, we don't go to Heathrow, for instance.
Okay.
We go to smaller, not smaller airports. They are smaller airports because they're catered to the private aviation, but they're different locations. Like here, we're not sitting at the main terminal of Dubai South. Mm-hmm. We're sitting in the FBO, and it's a fixed base operator. That's what FBO stands for. Yes. And basically, that's the airport that the VIPs would go through to actually catch a private jet. And they literally walk through the building, hop on board. But what we need, obviously, it's more expensive, you know, to charter an airplane. But depending on where you're going to and the entourage that you're flying with, it might actually be similar to first class. So if you're flying from Dubai to London, for instance, on a one-way, and that you're flying with 8 girls, you're going for a weekend partying in London. Yeah, let's go there. For you to buy first class tickets might be very close to actually the full price of an airplane. But then you don't have to be at the airport 2 hours before. Mm-hmm. You will get a full-on VIP experience in the cabin. You know, and it's just this privacy and the ease of travel, and you're less fatigued as well because the pressurization in the private jet is made in such a way that you are less tired when you reach the end destination. So there's a whole bunch of benefits when you travel private jets, but it obviously comes with a price tag.
I agree.
But we have the capabilities in-house to actually help you and assist you and guide you in terms of what is best suited for what you're looking for.
This is what I wanted to ask. So basically, we are sending, like, let's say I'm sending the inquiry to you. I'm telling you how many people, right? Where do we go? And you are advising us which plane would be the best, most suitable for us, right?
Yeah.
And so the client is basically getting a quote, and you are showing which, like, few options, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean, we have access to around 9,000 airplanes worldwide. Depending on the region, there will be more or less aircraft available. But I will never give you just one offer, or the team will not give you one offer. We will always give you 3 or 4 options so that you also have a choice, because there is choice available. And obviously, the bigger the aircraft, usually the bigger the price tag. But we have the knowledge of we can even get one with a fuel stop, for instance. But again, I think it's important to mention this as well, simply because private jets are not only for holidays or for parties or whatever. I mean, and I'm doing one today, for instance, that we can do medical evacuations on private jets. And, it's very much a part of the industry that people do not think of. But we use private jets for evacuations, for medical evacuations. We also charter, bigger airplanes for groups. We've done weddings. We do big sports events, like in Qatar, if you remember a few years ago, there was the World Cup for football. You transport supporters. So it caters to a whole array of people. We do government flights. We've done the last evacuation flight out of Kabul in 2021 before the whole bombing of the airport. So it's not only for the fun and the glorious, let's put it that way. There is a lot of government. There is a lot of rescue missions. You can also transport animals. Pet travel is a huge topic currently as well.
I agree.
And so it just goes beyond only the VIP world.
Which is great that you mentioned actually the medical evacuation, because this is something which people don't know, right? So my question is, in case of situation like that, how quickly you're able to arrange a private jet?
It's a tricky one.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It depends on where they go from and to.
Okay.
So there's parts of the world where it's a lot easier to get permits for. Because when you apply for a commercial flight, you need to get approvals from the different authorities to overfly the country for the landing and all of that. Some countries just take longer.
Which countries?
For India, it normally takes up to 2-3 days. Now, there is ways to get it done in 1 day. Thailand, you need 7 days. China, you need 7 days. For the UK, unless the airplane is UK registered or has block permits there, you would need 48 hours from the UK CAA, Civil Aviation Authority. So it really depends where you go to. Like the one that I have now is within the region here. And from the moment that we get the call, that the doctors speak to each other, that we arrange the medicals, like the ambulance from the hospital to the airport, the handover of the patient, the flight, that the flight happens, but just the arranging of itself on the medevac can be in less than as little as 6 hours if the crew is available and that the plane is there. On a private jet, the fastest we've done is 37 minutes.
No way.
From the moment we got a call and that someone departed, paid everything was 37 minutes. But that again is because we have this huge network.
Yes, this is important, right?
It's extremely important because we know where the planes are going from and to. And this was actually a flight that we had booked for an inbound flight into the destination. The client called saying, the airplane that I have has broken down. Can you find me an alternative? And we're like, okay, yeah, sure. And we actually knew that airplane was landing 20 minutes later. So we called that operator and we said, listen, can you go on for the next destination? They're like, yeah, sure, not a problem. So they filed the flight plan and it was within Europe, so it was all very quick. And basically that passenger went off the airplane, a bit like here, off the airplane, walked into the other airplane and went. And he had a delay of 35 minutes, which sometimes we can make up a bit of time in air by flying faster.
So you see, convenience is
is key, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, very interesting to hear. How about buying a private jet?
That's buying emotions. It comes back to real estate. And I think when you buy an aircraft, you don't buy an aircraft just for a day. Yes. It's something that you, as an owner or as a company, you will want to, work with for a certain amount of time. And normally, they use them for a good 5, 10, 15 years. So buying an aircraft is possible. But again, I always say to clients, where do you fly most often? Where do you want to base it? And you need to get legal involved and all of that to understand the taxation behind it as well, because it's a huge topic, and obviously big assets, big taxations. But I think it's important that there's an open conversation of buying aircraft. There is aircraft for sale, loads of them. So it's not difficult to find an aircraft. What is difficult is to find an aircraft that suits your exact needs. Okay. And there are always compromises that are made. Yeah. But an aircraft you can buy for a couple $100,000 up to
of course,
hundreds
the
of
sky
millions.
is the limit,
The sky
right?
is the limit, yeah. And then, but the beauty when you buy an aircraft is that if you buy them new, you can make them look as you want. If you want to have a pink and white interior,
you
can make
do
a
it.
pink and white interior.
And does the plane lose in values? I mean, as in, does it work the same like with the cars, right?
Like any asset, they depreciate over time.
Right.
They depreciate depending on the times and on the offer and demand on how much is available on the market. After COVID, the prices had dropped a little bit, but then they spiked up because everyone wanted, it's revenge travel. Everyone wants to own aircraft again. But ultimately, yes, they depreciate. It's a machine. They have engines, they have wear and tear, and they cost money to maintain as well. So, yeah, it's still a cost.
It's still okay.
Yeah,
Right.
it's still a cost. But I mean, again, it all depends. Like a lot of the owners that have airplanes, there's multiple owners that have 2 or 3 aircraft in the region simply because they use them so much. So they don't see it as a cost because what they gain out of it by far surpasses what it's actually costing them. So there is a way to look at it. But ultimately, yes, the asset itself depreciates.
Okay. So when you're buying a jet, how about, I don't want to hiring a staff, hiring a pilot.
Yep.
Can you just hire your own pilot, which is going to just work for you? Or this is the company, let's say, who's managing?
I would always recommend a management company to anyone, not to run the show by themselves, simply because there is the professional, the know-how, and the safety. And it brings, for me, it should always be safety first, always. And you could hire your pilots on your own, let's say in the US and in certain other parts of the world. But again, I think as an owner, you don't want that. You want to have the peace of mind that your aircraft is well looked after, that the maintenance is done in the correct facilities. Not that you put your life in there, So it's important that the maintenance is up to standards and all of that. So I always recommend using a management company, a reputable management company, because they have buying power when it comes to fuel, to insurance, and they have a pool of crew. Because let's assume you're in the US, you have your own pilot because he's a buddy of you, he got his license and whatever. If he gets sick, who are you going to call?
I agree, of course.
And it's not for you as an owner to be bothered with that either. So a management company would actually say, listen, your pilot is sick, here's a replacement. So it just takes, the expertise of a management company to be there. And honestly, I don't think it's worth the hassle. And yes, you're being charged a monthly fee for the management and the maintenance supervision of the aircraft, but it's just you're buying that peace of mind.
Of course. And this is what it's all about, right?
Of course.
To make the travel very easy, there is someone who's managing everything for you. Great speaking with you. Very interesting conversation. Thank you so much for telling me so many interesting things about private jets.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.